think especially we need social workers because our unique training really provides us with a lens that brings forward how societal issues also impact families, individuals, organizations, and groups, to really think about the context kind of beyond individual level functioning. And that's why social work is such an important profession.
We need social workers in society because we are the ones who take care of people who are vulnerable, oppressed, and living in poverty. We are the folks who are part of the profession that actually cares about the folks that a lot of people in society decide aren't worthy, don't need help, aren't cute and cuddly. Some might even say are disgusting and repulsive and scary. Our job is actually to work with everybody to help make their lives better. And we are the profession that actually actively looks for those people who truly need help and who may not, again, be the most warm and cuddly and fuzzy people.
On an individual, community, national, international level, we have major issues that we need to deal with. And we need social workers because we are the ones who are trained to know how to help the individual who needs an empathic ear or who needs help in accessing the resources that are going to benefit them. We know how to help communities to advocate for themselves, to organize, to work toward fighting for justice. We need social workers because we have the skills, we have the know-how to make it happen. We need to rely on each other, and we need you. We need all social workers to work together to make a difference.
This is advice that was given to a dear friend of mine, and I've shared many times because I think it's probably the sagest advice I've ever heard about the social work profession. And that is that you should work with the hardest population you can think of as one of your first or second kind of work or internship experiences. Because then you'll really know if you have what it takes to be a great social worker. If you've worked with that constituency that's most challenging for you, right? Not the hardest group that you can think of that's to everybody, but a challenging group for yourself. And if you can succeed with that group, you'll be able to succeed in your work with any constituency. And so I think really challenging yourself early on will let you know whether or not you have what it takes to be a great social worker.
Our roles in times of stress, be it war, be it attacks on particular populations in terms of policy, our role is to mobilize people, to help inform people, to pay attention to where are laws, policies, and practices developing that actually threaten the well-being of people. And then it's our job to help mobilize people, to get them together, to get the word out, hey, this is going on, this is a problem. And or it's our job to respond when people who may be affected by a particular policy change or act of violence or other type of macro level issue. It's our job to listen to what they're saying about what they want in terms of change and to help mobilize other people to support that, to mobilize resources, to mobilize information, to help come up with effective strategies to actually make a change in law, policy, practice, even societal attitudes so that people can live better. It's certainly not our job to send people out into, to patch them up and send them back out into a broken world. Our job at all times of stress and distress is to actually work with people to take action, to make change. It's our job to make sure that those folks are able to use their own voice to make changes in their own lives.
Being a social worker has been so important to who I am. I started as a well-intentioned, good-hearted person who wanted to do good in the world. My social work education helped me to understand the places where I was ignorant to others' experiences. It helped to open me up to cultural humility, to understanding the experiences of people who are coming from different perspectives, to be able to understand race, class, gender, sexuality, religion, and other issues in more profound ways that have deepened my knowledge of humankind in important ways. Being a social worker has changed my outlook by building empathy in ways that help me to understand how to connect and to communicate with others who are different. It's helped me learn how to turn my passion around some issues into action, whether it's being able to grant write, being able to be an activist in the issues that I care about, joining with others to organize, and fighting in ways that are productive to make the changes that I think are so important to the world. Being a social worker helps me to see the world with new eyes. It helps me to understand our social issues in a way that I never would have if I had not had my social work education. It's helped me to achieve my goals professionally and personally to be able to make a difference in the world. And I'm so grateful for this discipline, for this field, and for the work that we do as social workers.
So I think what makes social work such an important field is that we're one of the largest providers of behavioral health interventions in the United States. And yet many people assume that this is a role for psychologists or people with a psychology degree. I think it shows how versatile the social work degree really is, and remembering that that versatility will allow you to pivot many times throughout your career to work with different groups in different organizations, at different kind of levels of intervention as well, from being an individual level therapist to being a manager of perhaps a social service agency. That really, when you have the versatility of a social work degree, it's because you really understand how kind of society works, how people's feelings and experiences work in a breadth and depth of space. So, my final thoughts are just really to be thoughtful about what group you want to work with and how you want to make a difference in the world.
We are the folks who really want to make a difference in the world, and we understand what motivates people to change. We understand what are barriers to change. We understand what are the resources available, and we're really, really good at developing a problem-solving strategy approach so that we can help people help themselves.
But know that the work that you do is important, and that you are important, and that there are people who are out here who know that you are unsung heroes, and that we appreciate what you do as social workers in the field and what you've committed to of choosing a career where you want to make the world a better place. Whether that's working at the micro level, macro level, whether you're working with individuals, with communities, with public policy, with grants, with community organizing, however it is that you've chosen to do that, what you're doing is important. And thank you for that.